Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel Rag-venturediaries. My name's John. Recently I got my Fiat Ducato L2 H2 panel van converted into a capable off-grid campervan, and there it is behind me. I'm currently using it on a road trip to Scotland so I can increase my Munro count. If you're unaware what a Munro is, I'll put a link in the description down below. But there are 282 in Scotland and I've currently got 142 summits under my belt. This week, I'm looking to increase that count. If this is something that would interest you, why not come and join me? Let's get off up the mountain before these mosquitoes absolutely devour me. This is day one of the road trip, and I'm currently on Jocks Road in the Forest of Glendall, heading up to Carn Eas. I'm aiming to get Driesh and Mayar today, which will take me up to a Munro count of 144. And if we got enough time, we might as well zip over to the start point of Mount Keane as well. That's a single that I need to do on its own. So if we can get that as well, we'll have a go. Hopefully the weather stays fine and I can get some good views. You can see it's a very well established track up through the forest, and we'll head over that shoulder there and get to the col between Driesh and Mayar. But if you have a look around, we're in the depths of the glen. Lovely day for it. Not many people around. Here we are on the Beinn Bhreac between Mayar and Driesh. Hasn't been challenging to get here. Map in the pocket. Navigation is not challenging at all. From this Beinn Bhreac we can go up to Mayar and then come back to the Beinn Bhreac and then get Driesh. So we'll crack on with that now. Hopefully that cloudy sky stays away and we have a good day. So that's Mayar done. Now we're over to Driesh. I'm butchering the pronunciation of those mountains. It's probably more like Mayar and Driesh. So if you've got any comments on how I should be pronouncing these mountains, please comment down below. Don't give me aggro. Okay, I know I'm butchering it. Some advice on how I should be pronouncing would be welcomed. Right. Let's get across there to Driesh. You can see we've simply retraced our steps here to the Beinn Bhreac between Mayar and Driesh. So we'll head down to that now and then head up onto the summit. Here we are approaching Driesh. That'll be number 2 for the day, bringing the count up to 144. Pretty nice day. It's a Thursday, which means there's not many people around. Let's get on up to Driesh. Here she is. Driesh. Awesome views from up here. 360. Wow. There's a Beinn Bhreac, so just a matter of heading back through the forest to the van. Hello everybody. Well, we had quite a drive over from Mayar and Driesh, and we're now in the car park at the start of Mount Keane. So I think it's about 2.5 hours, so I'm going to try and dash up there and back and see if we can make that 3 for today. House of Mark. Well, as we're in Invermark, this is a great place to start the hike for Mount Keane. Handy. Heather's looking beautiful this time of year. You don't want to be trying to walk through that. That's a complete slog. So great we've got this well-trodden path. Mount Keane is one of the easier Munros to get, as we can see there in the distance. It's defined pathways, navigation not hard, and the terrain easy. So should be a good little jaunt. Here's the Queen's Well. I'm assuming that's Queen Elizabeth II. May she rest in peace. Looks like it may have been built for her. She loved this part of the world. So let's have a look at that. And there you have it. Queen Victoria, Her Majesty Queen Victoria. So well before Queen Elizabeth II. But what a lovely piece of architecture. So here's Mount Keane. You can see that the clouds are starting to drop a bit. Nearly 5 o'clock in the evening, but wonderful views. That brings me up to a total of 145 for the day. We're now in the Llyn of Chwich car park, and the idea now is to head up into the Cairngorms, probably do 2 Munros today. Had planned on 4, but that's a really big day and it's a late start here this morning, so we'll cut that in half. So about an hour's bike in and then good few hours hike to get those 2. So let's get on with it. Hello. Morning. I must get a new bike. This isn't really suited to a hybrid. It takes a good bit of handling to avoid the bigger rocks, keep a bit of grip. Know when to put the speed on. So there are some bits where you certainly need a full suspension bike, and this is one of them. Just trying to pick my way across this burn. Certainly can't ride a hybrid bike over this. And when you have to push it, you question the logic of bringing it with you. However, what I would say as I passed 2 fellas earlier on who were looking at me really strangely because I was pushing this bike up a hill, but now they're a good 3.5 miles behind me, which will take them over an hour to cover. Well, about an hour if they're walking sharpish. So it is worth bringing a bike. It does burn a lot of energy though. So where you see these bike hike walks advertised in guidebooks, just be aware of that. Just because you've got a bike, it's not all plain sailing, as you can see here. I've ditched the bike half a mile back or so because it's got a bit too gnarly for a hybrid bike. So I'm handrailing Chwich and hoping to gain some height, because we're going to have to climb significantly in a minute. As you can see, we're in the glen and it's still pretty flat. Hoping we're going to gain some elevation soon. You can see they're quite actual rolling hills around here, not aggressive, so we expect some grasslands and stuff to negotiate going up there. A couple of cairns or tours on the top, so should make for a nice relaxed ascent, hopefully. Well, it's a lovely day for it. I'm hoping that this cloud stays high, keeps moving through. I think it should. It looks like some blue skies trying to poke through. I can feel the heat and the sun. So let's cross this burn and take that well-defined path. So gaining height up onto Beinn Bhreac now. Wonderful scenery. Here's the map. We've done Avon, and basically we're at the snook. Now if I want to go and do Bhuird, you can see that's a significant way there. It's already 5 o'clock and it's already 17 miles to where I am, so it's going to be a significant journey. So we'll save that for another day, I think. Let's get back. We'll go for the push up this badger. I don't know if the camera will pick it up, but even on a mountain bike that's a bit of a pull. This bike's not cut out for this. No my really. Never been good at downhill on the bike. And no Tom Pidcock. See what I mean? Excellent, here we are folks, back at the car park and back at the van. Hi, hello everybody and welcome back to Rag-venturediaries YouTube channel. And here we are on day 4 of my Scotland road trip to up my Munro count, and I'm having a rest day today. We've had a couple of high mileage days in the hills back to back, a 20 plus and then a 25, so I thought I'd have a rest day, as tomorrow I've got another 25 miler and then the day after it's a big day again. But I thought I'd just show you around the car park, and here we are. Here's Griffin parked up in a nice corner of the car park. You can see there's only one other van at the moment. Lots of walkers here starting off for their walk, but a really nice place. Had a nice quiet night's sleep last night, and we'll do the same again tonight before a big day tomorrow. But the van's going really well, and I'm really happy that I put these additional locks on, or Vanguard locks, multi-locks, fitted by Titan in South Wales. Really glad I did those, because it allows me to go off up into the hills with no worries at all about security of the van. There are other systems on there, I'm not going to say what they are, but you know, these locks added to those systems puts my mind at rest. But yeah, van's going well, comfortable trip up. There are a few little teething problems inside, which I'll get round to having a look at, but other than that, really good. I'm going to go and visit Vanology again to get a fly screen installed in the passenger door, and we'll talk about a couple of things that have popped up when I'm there. But all in all, an excellent conversion by them. A small adventure van which suits my purposes down to the ground. Really happy with that. So another night's sleep in here tonight, and then off up into the hills again tomorrow. We'll go for an early start, as it's likely to be an 8-hour day, 8.5 hours. A bike and hike of 25 miles plus up into the Cairngorms, on the eastern end of the Cairngorms. And once I get that final mountain up there, that'll be, well, I think, what, 146, and then that will be my last mountain on the southern eastern edge of the Cairngorms, and then have to nip round to Avon, and I think I got about 3 or 4 to knock off up there before the Cairngorms are complete. And then it's on for the next trip, which is likely to be in September. So follow along for the moment, just giving you a look around the car park and where we are. And back down that road there, as you can see on the other side of the hill, you can see there's a little park up over there with a couple of vans, and that road is about 6 miles out of Braemar, which is back down the glen. Here's the bike I've been using for my bike hike X-Beds. It's an old beat up hybrid bike. It's a Specialized Cirrus Sport, and really it's not cut out for these tough mountain tracks that we've been going on. You can see the tyres there. I think they're about 30 millimeters, 32 millimeters, but they're quite smooth. It's got a 3-cog drivetrain on it. I don't know what that is, 27, 28 gears, but it's old and beat up, and I don't have any issues with leaving that thrown into the gorse when I have to leave the bike and crack up on the hills. But I am taking my life in my hands every time I get on this thing, and if I don't change that out, I'm going to come a cropper. So we'll start looking around now for some full suspension mountain bikes, even a full suspension e-bike. Or if there's anyone out there in the van life world like GadjetJohn who's got so much bikes he doesn't know what to do with them, hit me up, John. I'll take one off your hands and put it to really good use in furthering my my Munro count. This one, it serves a purpose for now. Quite attached to it. It's an Old Faithful. It's got me out of some scrapes. I got a little repair kit in the back there. I could split the chain and put new links in if my chain snapped. Puncture repair kit for the tyres, spare tyres, all that good type of stuff. Here's a rundown of tomorrow's route. We're starting off at the Linn of Kioch, and we're going to take the bike and we're going to follow this track up Glen Dee, up Glen Cuioch, and we're going to go all the way up, and at that point there, the fords, we're going to look at making our bike drop, and then it's on foot up to this next set of fords here, up to this point where I've marked on the map, which enables us to get on a bulldoze track which heads right up the valley. You can follow this track. You can see it heads all the way up here, all the way up to this point that I've marked called the Sneck. Now at the Sneck you could head right for Beinn Bhreac, and you can head left for Bhuird, and then a nice route back from there, handrailing this ridge over to the south top, keep handrailing the ridge. We'll come down to this Carn at 807 meters, Fiaclach, and then we'll look at following that track back down to the fords. From the fords back down to where I've dropped the bike off, and retracing all the way back to the Linn of Kioch car park. On the way back up to the Sneck this morning, it's about 8:30, about 20 minutes behind schedule as I had to swap out a puncture on the bike, but it is what it is. So even with that, still made reasonable time. So I'm heading up this morning to Beinn Bhreac or something like that. I'm really considering changing my channel name to Mispronounce Munros, because I'll never be able to pronounce them correctly, so apologies to all the Scots out there, but I am trying my best. So just thought I'd show you this lovely sight in the forest this morning. Let's crack on up to the Sneck. Here we are climbing up. Decided to avoid the Sneck rather, because it was just like mountain bike path all the way up. So instead I'm hand railing this burn around the side of this this top, and we'll get up to there and crack on from there. So hopefully that decision will have paid dividends and I'll save some time. Let's get on with it. Okay, we've got onto the ridge, bypassing the Sneck. There's Beinn Bhreac, which sits south top, I don't know. Beinn Bhreac is round there, obscured now. We'll crack on, see if we can get a view when we get there. Hopefully the cloud will clear. No more talking now, let's just crack on. Clouds lifting now, and we're starting to get some views, a bit more clearer where we're going. Well, here we are folks on Beinn Bhreac, and as you can see the weather's clagged in a bit. There's not much of a view, and I have to own up, in my hurry to leave the van this morning I left my map. So what have I got with me? I've got my silver compass, I've got the route on OS maps on my phone, I've got it on my Coros watch, but I'm still not happy. I would never ordinarily venture into the hills without a map and a compass, and with the weather clagged in I'm not really that comfortable continuing, even though I got a phone and I've got it on my watch. I know some people will come up and do that, but it's really not for me. So I'm gonna head back down to the Sneck, and what will that be? Get back down for the bike, and that's still, well, we're at 12 miles now, so it's still going to put us at about 24-25 miles by the time I get back. We'll then move on to the Linn of Dee car park and do another long one tomorrow. I did have designs of moving further off in that direction into the Cairngorms. There's another one that I can't pronounce that I could have picked up, but I'm deciding to call that a day. Massive schoolboy error for me for getting my map. I'm an old traditionalist. I love my map and my compass. So without that, straight back down and an early finish. But there we are. We're up on another one. That brings me to 147 in total. Well, you can see there are some wonderful views up here when the cloud and the clag clears. If you look at that off into the distance, you can see Beinn and the scramble. I was up on there the day before yesterday, and we're heading for this top here. This is probably an ideal place to stop for lunch. So we'll settle down here, but there won't be any Scotch eggs. Real food on this channel only. So let's have a wee bit to eat. So there you go, Scotland's mountains. Real sandwiches and a boiled egg. And if your son wins that challenge, you're going to be gutted not being able to eat a Scotch egg for a year. I'd love to see that. That would take some doing, eh? On the subject of Scottish YouTubers, RS.Outdoors, come on. Get your butt out into the hills. Where have you been, man? Be nice to see you out and about again. Get some more videos on. I don't know what to watch otherwise. So here's the Sneck, which you've heard so much about, which is essentially the Beinn Bhreac between these two Munros. See Mount Arn there in the background, and just somebody coming up there. But we'll head down to the Sneck there, hit the path. There's a couple of people coming up the path, and then all the way back down into the glen. So this is what everyone's doing, look. Cycle up as far as you can. Let's just chain your bikes together. Hi everybody, well I'm back in the van now, all sorted, fed and watered, descended to the Loch of Cuyock car park and then headed across here to the Linn of Dee for the route for tomorrow. So about today, yeah, it was 24 miles, so quite a long day really. I think I did that in 7 hours. But it's a lot of time on Shanks's pony. Glad to have got that. The only one I've got left outstanding on this map now is Beinn Bhreac, which is tomorrow. Usually done with Beinn Bhreac. I've done that one before, a significant time ago. So just one Munro tomorrow. Another bike up the Glen, Glenderry. Strike out from just after Derry Lodge. Yeah, and so should crack through that in 3 or 4 hours and then back to the van. Suffice to say, I have my map here. That's in the pack already. Tomorrow, come and join me and let's do another Munro. Good morning folks. Here we are on the final day of this little van trip to Scotland and we're off up to Beinn Bhreac. Left the van early this morning, well about 10 to 8, and cycled in for the first hour, and I've just passed Glenderry Lodge. So gonna head up, make my way straight up to the summit now, and as you can see behind me, everybody's got the same idea. Can you see there? Lots of bikes chained up. So my old faithful is just around the side of the building there. Last outing for that little monster, that little Titan, and then we'll look at swapping him out. But so let's get on with it. Up and back and cycle back to the van. Catch you later. Here we are folks, up on Beinn Bhreac. That's the last one of the trip. As you can see, it's a bit of a windy day up here today, so we'll just have a quick bar and a bite to eat, and then probably head down the track that we've come up. That was a nice and easy ascent, didn't take too long. So yeah, we'll head back to the van. That's me up to 148 now. Back to the van and head back down south. Thanks for joining me. Heading down into the Scots Pine forest here, back to Glenderry Lodge, and then it's about an hour cycle. Final Scottish outing on my beat up old hybrid. May it rest in peace. Get me back in one piece and then we'll lay you to rest. There it is, a gladiator of a bike. Maximus Decius Meridius, a gladiator. Hi everybody, just a quick outro. As you can see, I'm back in the van now. I'm up to a total of 148 Munros. I've got 6 on this trip. It's not been as prolific as I'd have thought, but each of those has had a significant walk-in or hike bike leg to it. So up to 148 and smashing through the Cairngorms, which is great. As ever, if you've liked the content on this video, please like and subscribe down below, help the channel grow, and we'll be back at some more adventures in a couple more days.